Chosen one. Stop scrolling. Heaven has interrupted your timeline for a reason. Right now, everything around you pauses because this is not coincidence. It is divine intervention. A message has been dispatched directly to your spirit. You are in danger. Not the kind of danger that can be seen, but the kind that lurks in silent spiritual danger that moves beneath the surface of ordinary life. But God's plan is already moving. A rescue written long before you were born. You have felt it, haven't you? The invisible pressure that keeps tightening around your heart, the sudden tears that fall for no reason, the strange restlessness in your soul, as if something inside you keeps whispering, "Wake up." That's not emotion, it's heaven warning you. The enemy has drawn near, but grace has drawn nearer. You've been fighting unseen battles. But tonight, heaven has stepped into your timeline to save you. Chosen one. You were never meant to blend in. You carry a light that disturbs the darkness. Every attack against you has been strategic, designed to wear you out and make you forget your worth. But God has declared, enough. This message is His alarm bell, a reminder that the battle for your destiny is real, and the victory is already written in your name. You are not watching this by accident. God aligned time and technology to pull you into this exact moment. Why? Because the path you've been walking has been under surveillance by the enemy. And if heaven had not stepped in now, something precious could have been lost. Your peace, your fire, your faith. But not anymore. The trap is exposed. The warning is clear. The plan of God is now in motion to lift you out of danger. You have cried in silence, wondering if heaven even heard. You've whispered prayers that bounced off the walls. But let this truth sink deep. Every whisper you ever spoke in faith became a roar in the courts of heaven. Nothing was ignored. The tears you thought were wasted became ink on the pages of your testimony. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Isaiah, chapter 43, verse 2. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. Through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. Through the fire, you will not be burned. Chosen one. You've walked through water, and you didn't drown. You've stood in fire, and it didn't consume you. Why? Because the one who chose you never left. You are still breathing because His purpose still stands. The same God who parted seas for Moses is parting the confusion around you right now. The same God who shut the mouths of lions for Daniel is silencing the voices that said, "You'll never rise again." The danger was real, but so is your deliverance. The moment you feel weakest is the moment heaven draws closest. You are not being punished, you are being positioned. The darkness has done its worst. And yet, here, you are still standing, still chosen, still called by name. So listen carefully. This message is not entertainment, it is a divine dispatch. Heaven has handed you a lifeline, and the choice is now yours. Will you answer the call or ignore it and drift back into numbness? You cannot delay. Delay is the enemy's weapon. Every minute you hesitate, something sacred stands still. But the moment you say, "Yes, Lord," the danger loses its grip. The divine plan activates, surrounding you like light breaking through storm clouds. And as you surrender, peace begins to move again, not the fragile peace the world offers, but the kind that anchors your soul even in the chaos. Breathe. Chosen one. Let this truth settle deep within. God is not late. He is right on time. The attacks, the confusion, the exhaustion, they were never signs of abandonment. They were evidence of preparation. You were being trained to recognize his voice above the noise. And now, before this moment fades, take action. Anchor this word with obedience. Like, share, and comment 777 below as a prophetic act, not for attention, but as your public yes to the plan of God. And if you haven't yet, subscribe, because heaven has more to reveal, and your spirit must stay connected to the flow. You are not watching by accident. You were summoned by purpose. Heaven has sounded the alarm, and because you are chosen, you will not fall. You begin to see it now. Chosen one, the patterns, the traps, the subtle manipulations that once hid in plain sight. The danger was never just in the obvious storms, it was in the quiet distractions designed to steal your focus. The enemy never needed to destroy you directly. He only needed to make you forget who you are. And for a while, it worked. The voices around you grew louder than the one within you. You started believing you were ordinary, replaceable, unseen. But heaven never stopped watching. Every time you almost lost your way, grace repositioned your steps. Every detour that confused you was, in truth, divine redirection. And now, in this moment of revelation, the Spirit begins to show you the hidden traps that were built to suffocate your purpose. There are snares of emotion, old wounds that still whisper rejection. There are snares of distraction, endless scrolling, empty conversations, relationships that drain your strength but feed your insecurities. There are snares of self-doubt, voices that echo lies. You're too late. You've failed too much. You'll never be enough. But the truth is shining through. You were never meant to fight with your own strength. The danger lies not in your weakness, but in your forgetting that heaven fights beside you. You feel the Holy Spirit unveiling memories, moments when you almost gave in, almost said yes to something that would have destroyed you. And yet, something unseen stopped you. That wasn't luck. That was divine interception. Heaven has been guarding your destiny even when you were unaware. As the ancient words in the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 23 declare, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Those words are not a suggestion, they are a command for the chosen. Because your heart is the gate of destiny, the trap of darkness is always designed to reach it, to poison it with fear, bitterness, and weariness, until your spirit no longer burns. But not this time. The warning is clear. Guard your heart. Chosen one, guard it like a fortress, for the plans of God are written inside it. Every time you felt unseen, heaven was watching. Every time you thought your prayers were echoing in vain, they were carving paths through the unseen. You may not have realized it, but the resistance you've been feeling was proof that your calling terrifies darkness. You are not a target because you are weak. You are a target because you are chosen. The hidden traps were never about destruction alone. They were designed to produce delay. The longer you stayed distracted, the less time you would have to rise. That is the true warfare of this generation, distraction disguised as peace, compromise dressed as comfort. But the Spirit is exposing it now. You can almost feel the shift within. The fog begins to lift, and the truth cuts through the confusion. You start remembering who you are, the light bearer, the marked one, the voice heaven trusts with secrets. You realize that even in your lowest moments, the plan of God was never at risk. Your mistakes did not cancel your mission, they only clarified your need for Him. And so, you breathe again. You remember that the greatest protection is not control. But surrender. The more you let go, the clearer His voice becomes. You begin to see how many times you've been rescued without even knowing it. Accidents that didn't happen. Doors that didn't open. People who left before they could betray you. You thought you were losing, but heaven was pruning. Now your spirit starts to stir. The warning was not to frighten you, it was to prepare you. Because the same God who exposes danger also equips you with power. You are not called to live in fear, you are called to walk in discernment. Every hidden trap loses its power when you see it for what it is. There will still be whispers trying to pull you back, voices of guilt, the weight of comparison, the lure of comfort. But now you know the truth. You carry light in your spirit, and wherever light stands, deception flees. So, walk forward, chosen one, with guarded heart and open eyes. The traps that once ensnared you are being dismantled, one by one. The danger is real, but heaven's defense is stronger. This is the beginning of discernment, the moment where spiritual blindness ends and divine awareness begins. You are stepping into clarity. You are remembering your authority. You are being saved from what was sent to stop you. You hear them now, the whispers in the shadows. They aren't loud, but they are relentless. They come in thoughts that sound like your own voice. You're not ready. You're too broken. You've missed your moment. These whispers aren't from heaven. They're from the same darkness that once tried to silence prophets, sabotage leaders, and drown the chosen before they discovered who they were. You are next on that list, not because you are weak, but because you are rising. The war has shifted from the external to the internal. The enemy no longer needs visible chains when he can plant invisible ones in your mind. You begin to notice how fear tries to disguise itself as caution, how doubt speaks the language of logic. But something deep in you starts to push back. That's your spirit, remembering truth. There is a line that heaven has drawn around your soul, a sacred boundary that darkness cannot cross without permission. But the whispers keep testing it, searching for entry points through your fatigue, your disappointment, your questions. They sound persuasive because they echo your memories, replaying every failure, every time someone left, every promise that seemed delayed. Yet, even now, light begins to rise. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah. Chapter 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Those words pierce through the fog. The whispers lose strength because truth speaks louder. God's plan for you has never been one of destruction, but of destiny. Even when you wandered, the map of your calling never changed. The whispers tried to convince you that you've gone too far. But heaven has never once lost your coordinates. Chosen one. Understand this. The enemy cannot read your thoughts, but he studies your reactions. Every time you fear, he takes note. Every sigh, every complaint, every delay gives him a hint about what still wounds you. That's why silence and peace are your greatest shields. When you refuse to panic, you starve the darkness of information. you have to remember that your mind is holy ground. It's not a battlefield to be lost, it's a temple to be guarded. When you fill it with worship, gratitude, and scripture, the whispers lose volume. They can shout, but they cannot stay where truth lives. You've spent so much time believing you were under attack, but in reality, you were under refinement. The very voices that mocked you were being used by God to sharpen your discernment. You're learning to recognize what comes from heaven and what doesn't. You're learning to sense the difference between conviction and condemnation. One draws you closer, the other drives you away. Do not be surprised when you lose people during this process. The whispers often wear familiar faces. The enemy loves to disguise discouragement as advice, envy as concern, manipulation as love. But heaven is separating noise from necessity. Some voices can't travel with you because they were assigned to the version of you that no longer exists. Chosen one. Look at how far you've come. You've faced battles that would have destroyed others, but you're still standing. That is not luck. It's evidence that your destiny is louder than every whisper. The key now is agreement. Heaven is speaking destiny, while hell is whispering doubt. Which voice will you agree with? Agreement determines alignment. If you agree with fear, you empower bondage. If you agree with faith, you activate breakthrough. The power was never in the whispers, it was always in your response. So when the voices come again, and they will, don't argue with them. Don't wrestle with them. Simply speak truth aloud. I am chosen. I am covered. I am not for sale. Every time you do, the shadows shrink. Every time you speak life, you reclaim territory that was stolen from your peace. And when silence feels heavy and the waiting stretches long, remember, silence is not absence, it's strategy. Heaven often hides you in stillness to rebuild your strength. The lack of noise is not punishment, it's preservation. So now, in this holy moment, as your heart beats in rhythm with the voice of heaven, I want you to declare your alignment. Comment, I choose light, because every time you choose light, you reject the whispers of darkness. This is not just a phrase, it's a spiritual contract, a public declaration that you will no longer give darkness the privilege of your attention. Your decision in this moment matters. Heaven records it. The same angels that fought for you through sleepless nights are watching your response right now. The choice between light and shadow is made not once, but daily in every thought, every word, every silence. But as you stand here, aware and awake, the power of truth begins to rise like dawn in your spirit. You are not at war with your mind anymore. You are reclaiming it. You are not listening to the whispers anymore. You are silencing them. You are stepping into peace that confuses the enemy, because he cannot manipulate a soul that remembers who it belongs to. So breathe. Chosen one, the shadows can whisper all they want, but they cannot touch what heaven has sealed. Just as the whispers begin to fade, something greater breaks through the divine interception. Heaven steps between you and the path of destruction that was quietly forming. It doesn't come with thunder this time. It comes with peace, so still it almost feels unfamiliar. For the first time in a long while, you sense clarity. The fog lifts. You see where you could have fallen, and you realize how many times grace pulled you back before disaster struck. This is not luck. Chosen one. It is strategy. Heaven has been orchestrating interventions while you were unaware. The very moments you thought you were abandoned were actually moments when angels were rerouting your steps. Every closed door, every failed plan, every sudden change that made no sense, all of it was heaven's way of steering you out of harm's path. You didn't lose, you were being preserved. You remember that season when everything seemed to collapse at once, the relationship that broke, the opportunity that slipped away, the dream that fell apart. You questioned if God was punishing you, but now the truth begins to surface. Those losses were divine blockades, barriers placed to prevent you from entering places that would have suffocated your purpose. Heaven's love is not always soft. Sometimes it's surgical. It cuts away what's killing you, even when you still think you need it. You may not have understood the pain then, but now you begin to see God was not taking from you. He was protecting what He planted in you. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Oh, that single truth silences every argument inside you. You realize that not every battle is yours to fight. Some wars require only stillness. For in stillness, heaven moves faster than fear ever could. You don't need to shout to be heard. Your surrender is already a sound that reaches the throne of God. You are learning now that divine love often disguises itself as loss. You didn't know that the thing you begged God to keep was actually the thing He had to remove to keep you. You thought you were being rejected, but you were being redirected. What felt like chaos was actually coordination. Chosen one, take a deep breath. This interception is not the end, it's the reset. The script of your life is being rewritten in real time. The same power that stopped Pharaoh's chariots at the sea has stopped the forces that pursued your peace. The danger that was forming in the background has been dissolved before it reached your door. Look back for a moment, not with regret, but with revelation. Count how many times you almost fell apart but didn't. How many times you should have lost everything, yet somehow, something unseen pulled you back together. That was God fighting for you when you didn't even know a war existed. Every prayer you thought went unanswered became a wall between you and destruction. Every disappointment became direction. Every heartbreak became holy ground for a new beginning. Heaven didn't ignore you. Heaven intercepted what would have ended you. Now you begin to understand why peace feels strange. It's because you've been surviving for so long that calm feels foreign. But this calm is not emptiness, it's evidence. It means the battle is over. You've crossed into a season of divine defense. From this point forward, you are no longer reacting, you are responding. You move not by fear, but by revelation. You no longer chase after what leaves, you wait for what's appointed. You no longer question why it happened, you thank God that it did. The interception of heaven isn't only about protection, it's about positioning. When God stops you, it's not to delay you, it's to align you. The path you were on could have drained your anointing, but the one you're stepping into will multiply it. You are being placed exactly where light needs you most. Listen to your spirit. It's quieter now, stronger now, anchored now. The voices of confusion are gone because they cannot cross the barrier of divine peace. The storm that used to toss you back and forth now serves only as a backdrop to your stillness. You stand unshaken because you know who fights for you. This is what salvation feels like, not a dramatic rescue, but a quiet rearrangement of destiny. Heaven stepped in, not with chaos, but with calm. the hand of God moved gently, and everything that once threatened you has been dismantled. Chosen one, this is the evidence of divine interception. You are still here, still standing, still chosen. The danger passed, the path cleared, and peace remained. You have been saved not by your strength, but by His strategy. The covenant of rescue is not a contract written in ink, it's a promise carved into eternity. Chosen one, long before you took your first breath, a divine vow was made over your life. It said, no matter how far you wander, heaven will come for you. That vow has been echoing across generations, through storms and silence alike, waiting for the moment you would finally hear it again. You see, covenants are not paper, they are pulse. They live inside you like a second heartbeat. And when danger surrounds you, that heartbeat grows louder, calling you back to the one who made you. You've been hearing it lately, the tug, the stirring, the sudden awareness that something greater is at work. That's the covenant awakening. Heaven is collecting every broken piece of your story and reassembling it into testimony. Every covenant begins with blood and breath, with sacrifice and spirit. The blood of Jesus sealed yours, not as a distant symbol, but as a living rescue plan. You were not simply saved from something, you were saved for something. And the covenant ensures that nothing, no sin, no shame, no season of silence can break what heaven has already bound. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of John, chapter 10, verse 28, I give them eternal life, and they shall never perish. No one will snatch them out of my hand. That is the unshakable truth of your covenant. You may drift, but you cannot be dropped. You may stumble, but you cannot be stolen. The hand that holds you has never loosened its grip. You've been rescued in ways you didn't even recognize. Some rescues look like miracles, but others look like heartbreak. God sometimes saves you by letting something end. He rescues you not by removing the storm, but by teaching you to walk on water through it. He doesn't always calm the waves. Sometimes He builds your balance. Think of a seed buried in soil. From the outside, it looks like it's being buried, like it's dying, but underground, something sacred is happening. Roots are forming in silence. That's what the covenant has been doing in you, developing unseen roots so that when you rise, you'll be unshakable. Heaven's rescue plan often feels like rejection at first. You wanted the door to open, but God sealed it. You wanted that person to stay, but they were never meant to carry your next chapter. The covenant doesn't just protect your life, it preserves your purpose. It removes what would contaminate your calling, even when your heart doesn't understand. And through it all, grace keeps reaching. The covenant doesn't depend on your perfection, it depends on His promise. You could never run far enough to lose His love, because His love doesn't chase, it dwells. Wherever you go, it's already there waiting. Now, chosen one, pause for a moment. Feel that gentle pull inside you, that warmth that feels like home. That's heaven whispering, I kept my word. The covenant was never broken, it was only waiting for your awareness. You might not realize it, but this moment, this message is part of that same rescue plan. It's not coincidence that you're hearing these words. It's continuation. Heaven is reminding you that what started in grace will not end in fear. You've been rescued for relationship, not religion, for connection. not condemnation. And just as the covenant calls you closer, it also calls you to share light. You've been found. Yes, but there are others still lost in the same fog you once walked through. Be their signal fire. Your voice might be the bridge between someone's despair and their deliverance. So as you feel this word, anchor, deep within, don't let it stop here. Let it flow. Like this message, if it reached you. Share it if you know someone walking through shadows who needs to hear they're not alone. And if this place has become a home for your spirit, subscribe, not as a follower of content, but as a covenant partner in light, because every shared word carries rescue. Every connection becomes a lifeline. Every act of faith keeps the flame burning brighter. You are part of a chain of redemption that began before time. You are not just being saved, you are being sent. The same God who pulled you out of danger will use you to pull others out too. That is the beauty of the covenant. It multiplies salvation through the saved. So stand tall. Chosen one. You are living proof that promises don't expire. That divine rescue doesn't arrive too late. Heaven's hand found you once again. And this time, you know what it means to be held. Heaven's warning comes not with thunder, but with truth, a whisper, sharper than any blade. Delay is the enemy's disguise. You've been sensing it lately, haven't you? The constant hesitation, the spiritual pause that keeps you stuck between intention and action. You know what you're called to do, yet something invisible keeps saying, later, but later has become a cage, and heaven is here to break it open. Chosen one. Hear this clearly. Delay is not rest, it's resistance. The danger now is not darkness attacking you, but your own hesitation, keeping you from stepping into destiny. Heaven is sounding the alarm because every moment you postpone obedience, something sacred remains unfinished. The call over your life is time-sensitive. There are people attached to your yes. Blessings waiting for your movement. Miracles positioned to activate when you obey. You think you're waiting for God, but heaven is waiting for you. The door is open, the promise alive, but your fear of failure has become your strongest chain. You've prayed for signs, yet the sign is already here. This moment, this message, this stirring inside your chest that refuses to let you stay still. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 16, make the most of every opportunity, because the days are evil. And that is not a suggestion, it is a command wrapped in mercy. Heaven knows how quickly time slips away. Every second you spend debating whether you're ready is a second the enemy uses to plant doubt. You were never meant to wait until you felt qualified. You were meant to move and let obedience become your qualification. Chosen one. The warning of delay is holy. It's heaven's way of protecting your purpose. The longer you hesitate, the harder it becomes to hear. Conviction fathers. Passion dule. What once burned bright becomes dim. And before long, you begin to call disobedience patience. But heaven calls it by its real name, danger. This is why you've been restless. The Spirit has been nudging you, whispering, stirring you from comfort, because the window of grace for certain callings is opening now. Not next year, not someday now. You are standing in the intersection between obedience and opportunity. The next step you take will determine what kind of season unfolds before you. Don't misunderstand. Chosen one. This isn't about fear, it's about alignment. God doesn't warn to punish, He warns to prepare. Every hesitation is a delay in the divine timeline, and every obedience brings acceleration. When you finally move in faith, heaven begins to rearrange circumstances faster than logic can explain. You've felt the weight of waiting. You've said, maybe tomorrow, too many times. But tomorrow never comes. It keeps disguising itself as safety. The truth is, you're not afraid of failure. You're afraid of the change obedience will bring. You're afraid of who you'll have to become once you say yes. But hear this, your next level of peace is locked inside that obedience. There are promises that cannot be delivered until you move. There are answers that will only appear in motion. You've been standing at the threshold for too long, praying for confirmation. When God is simply waiting for your courage, remember this, even delayed obedience is disobedience in disguise. Heaven doesn't ask for perfection, it asks for participation. You may not have everything figured out, but your faith is the key that unlocks the next instruction. The moment you step, light will meet your feet. You know what He's asking of you. Maybe it's forgiveness. Maybe it's a leap of faith. Maybe it's letting go of what's been draining your spirit. Whatever it is, the command has already been released. Mercy is holding the door. But doors don't stay open forever. Move now, while conviction still burns in your heart. Listen closely. You've been rescued from danger. Yes, but now you must rescue time. Time is holy currency. Don't waste it on delay. Don't let hesitation rob you of harvest. God's plan to save you requires your partnership. This message isn't pressure, it's protection. It's the sound of heaven's urgency wrapping itself in love, saying, don't miss what I've prepared for you. So now, seal this word not with fear, but with faith. As a sign of agreement, comment shmunem or shmunim vishmune below. This number is prophetic. It represents new beginnings. A divine reset where delay dies and destiny begins to move again. Let your comment be more than words. Let it be an act of surrender. A declaration that you will not procrastinate your purpose any longer. Because, chosen one, you've waited long enough. The time is not coming, it's now. The moment you surrender to divine timing, something powerful begins to shift within you. Heaven responds instantly to obedience, and what once felt like chaos suddenly starts to make sense. You feel lighter, not because the storms are gone, but because you're no longer fighting them in your own strength. A quiet peace begins to replace the exhaustion that's haunted you for so long. This is where the great exchange begins. God doesn't just call you out of danger, He calls you into transformation. You come before Him weary, uncertain, carrying fragments of battles you don't even talk about, and in exchange, He offers you strength, clarity, and restoration. The exchange isn't always visible, but it is always real. Every time you lay down fear, faith rises. Every time you release regret, redemption begins its work. For years, you've been carrying weights that were never yours to bear. Expectations, guilt, memories of mistakes, stones in your soul that kept you from moving freely. But now, in this sacred season, heaven is asking for them, not to expose you, but to unburden you. What you surrender, God sanctifies. What you let go of, He transforms. The pain you've been holding is about to become the material for your purpose. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 55, verse 22. Cast your burden on the Lord, and he will sustain you. He will never let the righteous be shaken. Those words are not poetic, they are prophetic. They are the very formula of freedom. You were never meant to carry what only God can handle. Every tear you've cried, every silent scream you've buried deep, has been seen and counted. And now, heaven says, hand it over. The sustaining strength of God is not theory, it's oxygen for your spirit. You may wonder, how do I exchange fear for faith? How do I let go of what's consumed me for so long? The answer is simple, but not easy. You choose trust, not once, but daily. You choose to wake up and say, I will not fear what comes, for I know who holds my tomorrow. You refuse to let your emotions dictate your faith. That is the great exchange, the daily decision to replace what destroys you with what delivers you. In this exchange, your past doesn't vanish, it transforms. What once brought shame now brings compassion. What once made you cry now makes you strong. You begin to understand that even your scars have purpose. They aren't reminders of defeat, but evidence of survival. Every wound that healed became a place where light can now shine through. You also learn that the great exchange is not transactional, it's relational. God doesn't ask you to trade pain for peace like a bargain. He invites you to bring your entire heart and trust him with the outcome. He doesn't just fix your life, he fills it. He doesn't just take your fear, he replaces it with courage rooted in his presence. And slowly, the things that used to break you begin to lose their grip. The fear of the unknown turns into curiosity for what God might do next. The anxiety that once paralyzed you becomes fuel for prayer. The loneliness that once felt like punishment becomes sacred space for intimacy with him. Chosen one. This exchange is not temporary, it's eternal. It changes the way you see everything. You no longer measure success by what you achieve, but by what you release. The more you let go, the lighter your soul becomes. And that lightness makes room for the glory that's coming. It's not that life suddenly becomes easy. The winds still blow. The waves still rise, but you no longer drown in them. You've learned the rhythm of grace. Give it to God. Breathe. And keep walking. The great exchange teaches you that your job is obedience, his job is outcome. And as you continue walking, something beautiful happens. Joy begins to return. Not the shallow happiness that depends on circumstances, but deep joy, the kind that sings even in darkness, the kind that cannot be stolen because it's anchored in eternity. That is what God has been trying to give you all along. Not just safety, but strength. Not just escape, but endurance. Not just relief, but revelation. You are learning that the most powerful thing you can do is trust him completely. So, here you stand. In the middle of this sacred transaction, your weakness for his strength, your despair for his hope, your case for his peace. Heaven's ledger is always balanced in your favor. The great exchange is underway, and the outcome is already victory. And then, the veil begins to lift. It doesn't happen all at once, more like dawn creeping over the horizon after a long night, but when it does, you finally see what heaven has been trying to show you all along. Who you really are. This is the moment of identity revelation. For so long, you've lived beneath your name. You've answered to labels others gave you: failure, boredom, disappointment, Mistake. You've walked through life trying to prove your worth to people who could never see what heaven already knew. But now, as light pierces through the fog, something within you awakens. The old labels start falling away, and the truth of who you are begins to emerge. Radiant and undeniable. You are not forgotten, you are chosen. You are not overlooked, you are ordained. You are not broken, you are being built. Every fragment of your story, every scar and every silence, was never evidence of your unworthiness, it was proof of your preparation. As was spoken in the sacred texts of 1 Peter, chapter 2, verse 9, but you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, that you may declare the praises of Him who called you out of darkness into His wonderful light. You read those words, and suddenly, they no longer sound distant. They sound like home. You realize this identity isn't a reward, it's a revelation. You were chosen not after your mistakes, but before them, before you cried, before you doubted, before you sinned. The Father already called you His own, and that truth doesn't change with your emotions. It doesn't fade with your failures. Chosen one. You've been living as if heaven merely tolerates you, when in truth, heaven celebrates you. You carry the signature of the Creator, the mark of divine craftsmanship. You are not a coincidence. You are evidence that God still breathes purpose into dust. The same hands that shaped galaxies shaped you, and within you, He hid a reflection of His own light. Look closer at your life. Every time you survived, what should have destroyed you? It was proof of identity. The storms didn't reveal weakness, they revealed what you're made of. The darkness didn't disqualify you, it confirmed your calling. Only the chosen are tested so deeply, because only the chosen carry power so dangerous to darkness. For years, you've asked, who am I? Heaven answers today, you are mine. The power of those 3 words reshapes everything. You are not an orphan in spirit, you are an heir. You don't walk beneath condemnation, you walk under covenant. You are not searching for belonging, you are already the dwelling place of divine presence. This revelation changes how you see yourself and how you see others. When you understand you're chosen, comparison, envy fades. You no longer crave validation from people who cannot comprehend your assignment. You stop apologizing for your light. You stop shrinking to fit rooms that were never built to hold you. And yet, identity doesn't come without responsibility. To be chosen is to carry both authority and humility. It means understanding that your life is not random, it's strategic. Every encounter, every experience, is part of a divine sequence designed to shape your voice, your faith, your endurance. You are not simply living, you are representing heaven in human form. When you remember who you are, temptation loses its grip, lies lose their persuasion, fear loses its language. You begin to walk differently, slower, steadier, with the awareness that heaven's eyes are on you, not as a judge, but as a father proud of his child, finally standing tall. Identity revelation doesn't erase your past, it redeems it. The mistakes that once embarrassed you become testimonies that empower others. The things you once hid in shame become the proof of transformation. You realize that your identity is not found in perfection, but in persistence, in the fact that you keep getting back up when everything tries to knock you down. This is why the enemy has fought you so hard. He was never afraid of your past. He was terrified of your potential. He knew that once you discovered who you truly are, his lies would lose their power forever. That's why the attacks were personal. That's why the rejection felt so sharp. Because the moment you realize your worth, the war shifts in your favor. And now, here, you stand no longer wandering, no longer questioning, no longer begging for acceptance. You are the chosen one, marked and sealed with purpose that cannot be revoked. The revelation of your identity is not the end of your journey. It is the beginning of your reign. You will walk as one who knows. Every breath, every step, every word is an echo of heaven's intention. The veil is lifted, and you see clearly now. You are not what happened to you. You are what was promised through you. You carry light. You carry legacy. And you carry the name that darkness cannot erase. The revelation of who you are awakens something fierce inside you. The moment you understand your identity, the atmosphere around you begins to shift. You start to notice that the same darkness that once whispered now trembles. The silence isn't peace, it's retreat. The enemy has recognized that you finally remember who you are, and that remembrance threatens every stronghold built against you. This is the clash of kingdoms. Heaven and hell have both taken notice of your awakening. You are no longer just surviving, you are advancing. And with every step you take in truth, the forces of darkness lose ground. What once intimidated you now begins to bow before the authority you carry. Spiritual warfare doesn't always look like chaos. Sometimes it looks like clarity. When you start walking in divine purpose, opposition often rises, not because you're doing something wrong, but because you're finally doing something right. Every breakthrough you experience is an act of war against the kingdom of lies. Your light becomes a weapon. Your worship becomes a sword. Your obedience becomes a wall that nothing unholy can breach. The ancient words recorded in Romans, chapter 8, verse 37, still echo today. In all these things, we are more than conquerors, through Him who loved us. That's not just a verse, it's a declaration of rank. You are not merely a survivor, you are a conqueror. You don't fight for victory, you fight from it. The war may rage, but the outcome has already been written. Chosen one. This is why your life has felt like a battlefield. Every rejection, every betrayal, every sudden storm, it was never random. It was resistance. The darkness doesn't attack what isn't a threat. And now that you're walking in truth, your very existence becomes a declaration of war against the lies that once caged you. But do not fear this clash. You were built for it. You carry authority that cannot be borrowed, only revealed. Heaven's mark upon your life is not decorative, it's defensive. When you walk, angels flank you. When you speak truth, demons scatter. You don't need to shout. Your presence alone shifts the spiritual temperature of a room. You have wondered why some people couldn't stay near you. Why tension seems to follow you even when you mean peace. It's because your light agitates what hides in others. Darkness cannot rest where revelation dwells. Don't apologize for that. Don't shrink to make others comfortable in their shadows. The clash of kingdoms means your light will always challenge someone's darkness, but that's exactly why you're here to expose, to illuminate, to liberate. Still, the battle isn't just around you, it's within you. You must choose daily which kingdom you'll agree with. Fear belongs to one. faith belongs to the other. Bitterness empowers one. Forgiveness strengthens the other. Every thought, every response, every act of love or pride contributes to the tide of war. You are both soldier and sanctuary, battlefield and temple. There will be moments when the conflict feels unbearable, when temptation calls, when fatigue settles in, when silence makes you question if heaven still stands with you. In those moments, remember, every warrior feels the weight of armor before they learn to move freely in it. You're still learning to carry glory. The heaviness you feel isn't failure. It's anointing being refined. And though you may stumble, though you may doubt, though you may feel the tension between light and dark pulling at your soul, know this: God does not abandon his soldiers. You were not sent to lose. You were sent to establish light in places where none existed before. Now, as you read these words, something inside you begins to stand taller. Your spirit straightens. You feel the fire reigniting. You are remembering the warrior within the one who doesn't run from battles, but commands them. And right here, in this holy moment, I want you to make a declaration not to me, but to heaven itself. Comment, I will stand, because that's what this clash requires, not noise. Not panic, but resolve. When you say those words, you aren't just typing a phrase, you're planting a flag in the spirit. You're announcing that you won't bend to fear. You won't retreat from calling. You won't forget who you are. I will stand. 3 words, but they shake the foundations of darkness. They summon strength from places you didn't know existed. They remind heaven that you've chosen your side and that your allegiance is sealed in faith. This is the moment where courage becomes covenant. You are no longer waiting for peace, you are creating it. The battle around you may roar, but the warrior within you roars louder. The clash of kingdoms is not your downfall, it's your coronation. The fight was never to destroy you, it was to reveal you. So, stand. Chosen one, stand in the storm. Stand in the light. Stand until fear forgets your name. There is a sacred calm that follows the storm, a silence that does not mean absence, but assurance. You feel it now. Chosen one. The air around you carries the weight of peace. Like the hush after thunder has spoken. You've walked through fire. You've stood through darkness. And now the light begins to settle upon you like morning dew. This is not the end of battle. It is the learning of stillness in the midst of it. You are beginning to understand something divine. Safety isn't found in escape, but in obedience. The shield of obedience isn't made of metal or myth. It is woven from trust. Every time you obey the voice of God, even when it doesn't make sense, a layer of protection wraps around you. You can't always see it, but you can feel it, the sudden peace in chaos, the unexpected calm in confusion, the quiet, knowing that you're not walking alone. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 2. All these blessings will come upon you and accompany you if you obey the Lord your God. That promise is not a reward system, it's a spiritual law. Obedience magnetizes blessing. It positions you beneath heaven's covering, like standing under a waterfall of grace. The moment you align with divine instruction, the atmosphere around you begins to shift. You step out of striving and into flow. What others chase begins to find you. Imagine, for a moment, a sailboat on the open sea. The wind never stops blowing. But the direction of the sail determines whether the boat drifts or moves forward. Obedience is that sail. It catches the wind of the Spirit and moves you toward purpose. Without it, you remain adrift, caught in circles of uncertainty. With it, you glide, steady and sure, even when waves rise around you. For years, you've mistaken comfort for safety. You thought stillness meant peace. But now you know. True peace is found in motion when your steps match His instructions. God has been whispering directions, small nudges, divine suggestions that seemed simple yet carried eternal weight. Every yes builds your shield higher. Every act of trust strengthens your defense. And slowly, the noise that used to unsettle you begins to fade. Obedience doesn't always remove storms, but it teaches you how to sleep through them. Like Jesus in the boat, you learn that power isn't found in panic, it's found in rest. The obedient heart doesn't demand understanding. It simply says, "If you said it, I'll move." Chosen one, your obedience is not just about your safety, it's about your legacy. Every step you take in faith lays a path for others to follow. Every time you obey, despite fear, you make it easier for someone else to believe. Your courage becomes their confirmation. Your trust becomes their testimony. But I know obedience can feel lonely. Sometimes you'll follow God into places no one else understands. People may question your choice, misunderstand your silence, or mock your conviction. Yet even then, you'll feel it, that quiet assurance that obedience may isolate you, but it will never abandon you. God walks closer with those who walk in His will, and this, chosen one, is where the shield of obedience becomes visible. It shows up in peace when others panic, in clarity when others are confused, in joy that makes no logical sense. You start to glow not with pride, but with presence. People begin to notice something different about you. You're not chasing, you're being carried. You're not striving, you're surrendered. That's the beauty of divine order. It carries its own protection. You don't need to force outcomes when heaven is already orchestrating results. You don't need to explain your journey when obedience speaks louder than proof. If these words have found a home in your heart, let them take root. Like this message, not as a gesture of approval, but as an act of gratitude for every time obedience has shielded you without your knowing. Share it as a seed of protection for someone else walking through their own confusion. And if your spirit has found nourishment here, is subscribe, not just to stay connected, but to stay covered. Because this isn't content, it's a continuation of covenant. You're not just surviving storms anymore, you're learning to command them by standing still. The shield of obedience is not fragile, it's eternal. When you walk in alignment, even chaos must serve your purpose. The winds may roar, but they can no longer harm you. You have found the safest place in existence, the center of God's will. And as you stand there, wrapped in obedience and bathed in light, you finally understand peace isn't the absence of battle, it's the presence of God. You stand now at the threshold of revelation, and heaven begins to unfold the prophetic blueprint, the divine architecture of your destiny. What once felt random starts aligning into pattern. The pieces that never seemed to fit are finally forming a picture, and that picture is your calling. For so long, you prayed for direction, and God seemed silent. But silence was never absence. It was drafting. Heaven was designing a plan so intricate that only time could reveal it. This blueprint isn't drawn in ink, but in obedience. In every decision that shaped you, in every moment that refined you. Nothing was wasted, not even the mistakes. Each failure became a lesson written into the structure of your growth. Each delay became a foundation of patience. Each heartbreak carved out space for compassion. And now, the Master Builder reveals what he's been constructing behind the scenes. A life designed not for comfort, but for impact. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 2, "Then the Lord replied, write down the revelation and make it plain on tablets, so that a herald may run with it." End quote. You realize that heaven doesn't just want you to receive vision, it wants you to record it, to make it tangible. Because revelation without record becomes forgetfulness. God is calling you not only to dream, but to define. What He's placing in your spirit right now needs form, structure, and words. The prophetic blueprint is not a mystery meant to confuse you. It's a manual meant to guide you. God is showing you where to step, when to wait, and how to build. He's reminding you that destiny is not an accident. It's a design that demands partnership. You can't rush what He's building, but you can prepare for it. The timing of heaven is not delayed, it's deliberate. Every blueprint begins with a vision, but vision alone cannot stand without foundation. Your foundation has been your wilderness, your waiting, your surrender. Each season you thought was wasted time was actually poured concrete beneath your feet. You cannot build high without first being dug deep. That's why your pain was so profound, because your purpose will be towering. Now, the Spirit begins to draw lines in your heart, connections between moments, lessons, and relationships that once seemed unrelated. You start to see divine patterns, how one closed door protected you from premature exposure, how one reaction redirected you towards divine alignment. You begin to understand that every no from heaven was preparation for a better yes. Emsting, this is the stage of clarity. God is not only showing you what He's doing, He's teaching you how to build with Him. You're no longer just a recipient of grace, you're becoming a co-architect of destiny. Heaven doesn't build without willing hands. The vision needs a vessel, and you are that vessel. Chosen one. Look closer. The prophetic blueprint reveals not only what's ahead, but who you're becoming. It's showing you the kind of strength required for the structure you'll carry to hold what's coming. You must be able to bear both blessing and burden with grace. God isn't just building a platform, He's building a person who can stand on it without falling. Sometimes, He'll withhold details to protect your dependence. If He showed you the entire plan, you might rush ahead and ruin the rhythm. That's why He reveals the blueprint in phases, step by step, page by page, so you'll keep listening. Obedience remains your compass, and trust becomes your builder's code. You may still question, what if I'm not ready? What if I fail again? But the truth is, you were never meant to build alone. Heaven's architects, angels, favor, divine connections are already positioned around you. Every time you take a step, something in the unseen moves with you. You are not carrying the vision is carrying you. The blueprint also reveals something more personal, your restoration. God is not just building new chapters, He's rebuilding broken ones. He's rewriting what pain tried to erase. Every stolen dream, every silenced prayer, every missed opportunity, they're all being redrafted into the plan. what the enemy scattered. Heaven is now gathering. The lines of your life are being redrawn with precision and promise. So let peace settle in your chest. Chosen one, you don't have to force what's already written. Your role is to believe, to move when he says move, to pause when he says wait, and to trust that the builder knows the design better than the structure ever could. One day, you'll look back and see it all, the blueprint complete, every detail fitting perfectly into place. And you'll realize that the same hands that formed galaxies also formed your story. The architecture of heaven has always included your name. The blueprint has been revealed, and now heaven brings you to the most sacred crossroad, the hour of decision. This is the moment every chosen one faces, when revelation demands response. You can no longer claim you don't know. The plan has been shown. The warnings have been spoken. The promises have been whispered. And now, heaven waits for your yes. There's a holy tension in the air. Isn't there? That trembling awareness that the next choice could change everything. It's not fear, it's the weight of destiny pressing gently upon your spirit. You feel it in your chest. That quickened heartbeat that says, this is it, because it is. The word declares in the book of Joshua, chapter 24, verse 15, but if serving the Lord seems undesirable to you, then choose for yourselves this day whom you will serve. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Nay, those words are not just ancient, they are alive, pulsing through time, reaching you in this very moment. Every generation has its decision hour, and now it's yours. Heaven doesn't beg, but it beckons. You are free to choose, but your freedom carries consequence. To delay is to decide, and to stay silent is to speak. The danger of indecision is subtle. It doesn't roar, it whispers. It says, you have time. Think about it later. But later is a thief dressed as comfort. Every moment you postpone obedience, something in your spirit begins to settle into sleep again. That's why heaven speaks with urgency, not to scare you, but to save you. You've walked through too much to turn back now. You've seen too much, felt too much, survived too much to return to what once enslaved you. The cost of compromise is too high. The time for hesitation is gone. God's plan for your life is unfolding, but it can't move without your consent. Heaven never forces, it invites. You might be wondering, what happens if I say yes? The answer is simple and powerful. Everything changes. Not because your life suddenly becomes easy, but because it becomes aligned. Your yes activates divine acceleration. The same doors that refused to open before will begin to respond to your obedience. The same dreams that seemed impossible will start breathing again. But your decision must be full, not partial, not conditional. Heaven is not asking for half of you, it's asking for all of you. Your heart, your habits, your hopes. Because when you surrender fully, heaven invests fully. Look at your life right now. How many times has God waited for this moment? How many signs? How many rescues? How many gentle reminders have led you here? It's not by chance that you're reading these words. You are standing in a divine intersection. One road leads back to safety without purpose. The other leads forward into calling that will demand everything but reward beyond measure. And yes, saying yes will cost you. Obedience always does. It might cost your comfort, your reputation, even certain relationships. but what it gives back: peace, power. Presence is beyond comparison. God will never take without multiplying. You are not just choosing a path, you are choosing identity. Every decision shapes the version of you that will emerge tomorrow. Heaven's question is simple: will you trust me enough to obey now? Your answer doesn't need to be dramatic. It just needs to be real. It begins in the quiet spaces, in the whispered surrender that says, I will follow. Even when I don't understand, that single decision carries enough power to rewrite entire generations. This is not pressure, it's invitation. Heaven is giving you the dignity of choice. You are not a puppet in divine play, you are a partner in divine purpose. Your yes matters. It echoes through realms unseen, activating alignments, releasing provision, summoning angels to assist what you've agreed to birth. So right now, if this word is resonating in your spirit, if you feel that stirring inside you that says, this is my moment, don't silence it. Respond to it. Seal it. Let heaven know that you have heard and that you will move. As a prophetic act of agreement, comment 440 ve'arba below. This number carries the vibration of divine order and stability. It represents the foundation of destiny, the strengthening of faith, and the establishment of heavenly alignment. When you type it, you're not just reacting, you're declaring, I choose structure over confusion. I choose obedience over delay. I choose purpose over comfort. Heaven hears that declaration. Angels record it. The timeline of your life adjusts to match your decision. And as you make it, peace will rush in, not the kind that soothes for a moment, but the kind that settles the soul for a lifetime. Chosen one. This is your hour. Don't wait for another sign. You are the sign. Heaven has spoken. Now, step into what was written for you from the beginning of time. When you say yes, the atmosphere around you begins to tremble. Heaven acknowledges your surrender. And immediately, the refining begins. It does not come to punish. It comes to purify. You've stepped into the refining fire, a season both sacred and uncomfortable, where everything that cannot stay must burn away. Chosen one. This is not the gentle warmth of comfort. This is the consuming flame of transformation. You might not have expected it, but every true calling passes through fire. It is the furnace where impurities are removed, where false identities melt off, and where what remains is gold untarnished, unbreakable, and holy. For a moment, you may wonder if you've done something wrong. The storms return, the silence deepens, and the path feels heavier than before. But don't mistake the fire for rejection. The fire is not punishment, it's proof of purpose. God does not refine what he plans to discard. He refines what he intends to reveal. The apostle reminds us in his first letter to the Corinthians, chapter 3, verse 13, their work will be shown for what it is, because the day will bring it to light. It will be revealed with fire, and the fire will test the quality of each person's work. And those words remind you that refinement is not optional, it's essential. Heaven will not allow the weight of glory to rest on a foundation that hasn't been purified. The refining fire exposes not to shame you, but to strengthen you. It burns away pride, disguised as confidence, bitterness, hidden as boundaries, fear dressed as caution. Every layer of false security must melt before the fullness of purpose can emerge. The process feels slow, almost cruel at times. The people you trusted, may drift away. The things you once found comfort in no longer satisfy. Even your prayers begin to change, not louder, but deeper. You stop asking God for escape and start asking Him for endurance. You begin to realize that the goal is not to avoid the fire, but to walk through it without losing your faith. There's a reason gold must be heated before it shines. The impurities rise only under pressure. Likewise, your greatest clarity will emerge only in the heat of surrender. You begin to see that every test you're facing right now is a mirror showing you what's within, revealing the parts that still need shaping. You learn to stop running from discomfort and start listening to it. The fire teaches you to identify what is temporary and what is eternal. It burns away dependency on outcomes, forcing you to depend only on God. You realize that the things you thought you needed were never the source. They were just tools. When they're gone, He remains. And in the middle of this refining, something extraordinary happens. The fire that once felt like destruction starts to feel like cleansing. You feel lighter, freer. The heaviness you carried for years begins to lift. You're no longer afraid of losing people or opportunities, because the fire has already taken everything false away. What's left is truth, and truth cannot be burned. Refinement also teaches you reverence. You begin to respect process more than progress. You understand that real strength isn't loud, it's consistent. It's the quiet, unwavering faith that says, even here, even now, I trust you. That's what makes you dangerous to darkness, your refusal to quit, even in the heat. The refining fire doesn't just change your surroundings, it transforms your nature. The words you speak carry new weight. The prayers you pray hold deeper authority. You're no longer reacting to life, you're commanding it through alignment. You've moved from simply surviving the fire to embodying it. Now, when you speak, the atmosphere shifts, because you've been through what others only preach about. This is the hidden wisdom of heaven. God doesn't send the fire to destroy you, He sends it to distinguish you. The difference between ashes and anointing is endurance. Many touch the flame and retreat, but the chosen stand still until the work is done. And when the refining is complete, even the smoke of the old season will no longer cling to you. So if you're feeling the burn, if life feels heavier right now, take heart. The fire that surrounds you is not against you, it's for you. It's shaping you into someone unrecognizable to your former fears. The version of you that will emerge on the other side of this season will not just survive the flame, you'll carry it. Chosen one. Your faith is being purified like gold. Your spirit is being tested, not to break, but to prove its brilliance. This is what heaven does with vessels. It intends to use greatly. It refines them until they reflect only light. The refining fire is fierce, but it's faithful. Let it finish its work. The fire has done its work. The heat that once terrified you has now tempered you. What remains is strength steady, refined, radiant. You are no longer the fragile version of yourself that entered the storm trembling. You have been transformed into a vessel of endurance, forged in obedience, sealed by grace. The wilderness has become your classroom, and the pain that once broke you has become your proof. Now begins the rising of the warrior. Heaven does not raise warriors in comfort. It builds them in hidden places where prayers are raw, faith is stretched, and surrender becomes second nature. You are that warrior now, though you may not feel like it yet. Your power doesn't come from armor or title. It comes from survival. From every night you refuse to give up, when giving up would have been easier. As the prophet wrote in the book of Isaiah, chapter 54, verse 17, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue which rises against you in judgment you shall condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their vindication is from me, declares the Lord." 1. You used to read that verse as hope. Now you live it as reality. You've seen weapons form. You've felt betrayal, loss, accusation, and misunderstanding, and yet you remain standing. The weapons didn't vanish. They simply lost their power when they met your faith. That's the difference between a believer and a warrior. The believer prays for peace, but the warrior carries it into battle. Chosen one. Your rising is not just about victory, it's about visibility. Heaven is no longer hiding you. The covering that once concealed your preparation is being lifted. The world will begin to see what heaven has been shaping in secret. You are stepping into a season where your light will no longer flicker, it will blaze. But rising does not mean arrogance. The warrior's strength lies not in conquest, but in compassion. You fight not for revenge, but for redemption. You have seen too much pain to become the cause of someone else's. That's what sets you apart. You are dangerous to darkness, but merciful to the broken. Your victories will not be marked by destruction, but by deliverance. The rising is quiet at first. It doesn't come with applause or recognition. It begins with posture. You rise in your mindset, in your language, in your discipline. You start guarding your peace like treasure. You stop entertaining conversations that weaken your spirit. You begin speaking with the authority of someone who knows that heaven backs every word. Your confidence doesn't come from pride, it comes from presence. You've seen God's hand in fire and flood, in silence and storm. You no longer question His loyalty. You've learned that whether He whispers or withholds, He is still faithful. That awareness changes the way you move. You stop pleading for signs and start walking as if the promise is already in motion because it is. You'll notice something else. Your perception of battles changes. Where you once saw enemies, you now see assignments. Every confrontation becomes an opportunity to exercise grace. Every challenge becomes a reminder of your anointing. Warriors don't avoid difficulty, they redeem it. You start using every attack as fuel, every setback as strategy. The rising of the warrior also awakens divine confidence, a holy boldness that doesn't shout but stands. You'll begin to walk into places that once intimidated you and realize the atmosphere bends in your favor. You'll speak truth that once scared you to say, and realize that your voice carries weight in both realms. You are no longer reacting to darkness. Darkness is reacting to you. But even in power, humility remains your crown. The true warrior bows before battles. You understand that your victories are not self-made, they are heaven-born. You've learned that prayer is your preparation, purity your weapon, and peace your shield. The rising of the warrior is not about gaining control, it's about surrendering control and finding strength in it. And through it all, a new light begins to surround you. It's not the shine of recognition, but the glow of revelation. People won't always understand it. Some will be drawn to it, others unsettled by it. But you'll know what it is. It's the reflection of glory, the evidence that you've been with God, chosen one. This is your rising. The fire that once refined you now fuels you. The silence that once confused you now centers you. You walk differently now, not as the wounded, but as the weapon. You speak differently now, not from fear, but from fullness. Every breath you take carries purpose. Every step you take disturbs darkness. The rising of the warrior is not the end of battle, it's the beginning of dominion. You are not just surviving anymore, you are leading. You are the living proof that what the enemy meant for evil, heaven turned into strength. You are the warrior of light. Rise and keep rising. The warrior rises, and darkness knows it. The moment you begin to stand in your authority, the final storm gathers not to destroy you, but to test the strength of your foundation. The final stand is not the end of battle, it's the confirmation of victory. It is the proving ground of faith, the space between almost and fulfilled, and chosen one. You are standing right in the middle of it. This is the storm before the sunrise. You feel the resistance again, old doubts trying to return, unexpected obstacles appearing from nowhere. But now, you know better. The difference this time is that you recognize the pattern. You've been here before, and you survived it. The storm that once scared you now reminds you that something powerful is about to break through. Heaven has already sent reinforcements. Angels stand like unseen soldiers around you. Every prayer you ever whispered is now a shield. Every tear you cried has become oil for your anointing. What once drained you now strengthens you. The very darkness that thought it could bury you is now the soil from which your destiny is sprouting. As the apostle wrote in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 4, verse 7, I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. These words no longer sound distant, they feel personal, because that's what you're doing right now, keeping the faith, holding the line, refusing to retreat. The final stand is not about fighting harder, it's about standing stronger. Sometimes the most powerful act of warfare is not swinging the sword, but staying still when everything tries to move you. You've become like a tree in a hurricane, roots deep, unmovable. The winds can howl, but they cannot uproot what God has planted. That's the secret of endurance. When you've been through enough storms, you stop fearing them. You learn to dance with the wind, to bend but not break. And in that stillness, heaven starts moving again. The final stand is where miracles begin to manifest in quiet ways. People who once doubted you begin to see light in your eyes they can't explain. Opportunities that once ignored, you start finding their way to your doorstep. This isn't coincidence, it's confirmation. When you refuse to bow to fear, the universe bows to your faith. But don't mistake victory for rest. Warriors don't retire, they transform. Your next season isn't about survival, it's about service. You've been refined so that your strength could become someone else's shelter. The wisdom you've earned in pain is about to become the balm for others' healing. Every scar you carry is a sermon heaven will use. Chosen one. The storm is still roaring, but you're no longer afraid of the sound. You've learned that the noise of opposition is just proof that you're advancing. You've learned that silence from heaven doesn't mean absence, it means trust. God doesn't shout when you're mature enough to recognize his whisper. And now, as this message finds your spirit, let gratitude rise in your heart. Look how far you've come. Look at what you've overcome. You are standing in places your former self never thought possible. That's grace. That's strength. That's evidence that the plan of God has been working all along, even in moments that felt like chaos. So if this word has found you in the middle of your own storm, pause for a breath. Let it sink in. You are not losing, you're being launched. The shaking around you is not meant to destroy you. It's meant to release what's been waiting to come forth. The walls are not closing in, they're breaking open. If this message has stirred something in you, if it has brought peace to your storm, or reminded you of your strength, then take a moment to respond, not out of habit, but from the heart. Like this message as your way of saying, "I'm still standing." Share it to someone who might be fighting their own unseen war and needs to know they are not alone. And if your spirit feels at home in these words, subscribe. Stay connected to this sanctuary of light, where every message is a reminder that heaven is still speaking. And before you go, I want to hear from you. Comment below. What part of this message spoke to you the loudest? Was it the reminder that your roots are strong, the truth that storms can't uproot what God plants, or the peace that comes from knowing the battle is already won? Share your thoughts. Not for attention, but as a declaration. Your testimony might be the torch that guides someone else through their night. Because this isn't just a message, it's a movement of resilience. You're not only standing, you're inspiring others to do the same. The final stand is not about ending the war, it's about beginning your reign. The storm has passed, and in its wake, silence settles, not the uneasy kind, but the sacred kind that follows victory. The air feels cleaner, the light softer. Heaven has marked this moment. The seal of the chosen has been placed upon you. It's invisible to the world, but undeniable in the spirit. You can feel it, a quiet authority, a deep peace that flows through your very being. What once frightened you now recognizes you. Darkness no longer approaches casually, because it knows who you are. This seal is not a decoration, it is identification. Heaven marks its own. It's not ink or symbol, it's essence. The mark is not on your skin, but in your spirit. It's in the way you think, the way you speak, the way you carry light into rooms that forgot what light looks like. You don't have to announce you're chosen. Your presence declares it before you open your mouth. The ancient words recorded in the book of Ephesians, chapter 1, verse 13, tell you exactly what this moment means. You were included in Christ when you heard the message of truth, the gospel of your salvation. When you believed, you were sealed in Him with the promised Holy Spirit. You begin to see how the mark changes everything. Where others see coincidence, you see coordination. What others call loss, you recognize as refinement. You no longer need constant confirmation, because conviction has taken its place. The same God who guided you through wilderness now guides you through victory. Not to boast, but to build. The seal of the chosen carries weight. It means your life is no longer your own. You are a vessel now, an ambassador of light sent into shadowed places. Your words have consequence. Your silence has power. Every choice you make echoes beyond what you can see. This seal is not a trophy, it's a mantle, and it must be worn with reverence. You'll notice that some doors begin to open without effort, while others close, no matter how hard you knock. Don't fight that. The seal doesn't grant access everywhere. It grants access only where destiny demands. The places that reject you were never meant to hold you. The opportunities that seem delayed are being tailored for your arrival. The seal ensures divine timing, governs your steps. You will also notice that people respond to you differently. Some will be drawn, unable to explain why your peace feels like home. Others will feel unsettled, because your light reveals what they still hide. That's the paradox of being marked. Favor and friction exist together. The same grace that attracts blessing also provokes opposition. But even this is protection. The seal not only identifies you, it shields you. It ensures that what is meant for you cannot miss you, and what is not meant for you cannot stay. There's also a new sound within you, a stillness that hums like music, a quiet assurance that keeps you steady. It's not arrogance, it's awareness. You no longer wonder if you are loved or called. You know it. You've stopped asking heaven for proof and started living as proof. Chosen one. The seal of the chosen is more than survival. It's succession. Heaven is entrusting you with inheritance. And inheritance comes with influence. You are called to shape atmospheres, not adapt to them. You are called to bring peace into chaos, truth into confusion, healing into hurt. You've been anointed for transformation, and with that seal comes responsibility. You cannot return to smaller versions of yourself. You cannot treat your calling like convenience. You carry too much glory for casual living now. The seal means you are a vessel through which heaven interacts with earth. Your presence in a room shifts the unseen. Your words carry weight because they're no longer just yours. They're laced with divine authority. Do not be surprised if God starts sending you into unexpected places, into rooms filled with tension, into hearts that have lost hope. The seal is a sending mark. You were never meant to hide. You were meant to shine. You were never chosen just to be saved. You were chosen to serve as light in darkened spaces. This is what it means to be marked. You become both message and messenger. People will see your life and know that God still redeems, still restores, still rescues. You are the evidence. You are the living scroll of grace, sealed and delivered by the Spirit of the living God. Chosen one. The mark has been set. You are not who you were when this journey began. You are sealed for destiny, anointed for purpose, and protected by promise. Heaven has placed its imprint upon your soul, and nothing, no mistake, no curse, no scheme of man can remove it. The seal has been set, and the silence that follows is holy. It's not emptiness, it's completion. The long journey that began with danger has brought you here, the place of understanding, where every trial reveals its purpose and every scar becomes sacred. You are no longer the one who needed saving. You have become part of the plan that saves others. This is the eternal assignment, the revelation that your story was never just about you. Heaven's design has always been generational. When God rescues a person, He's never rescuing one life. He's redeeming a line. Every battle you've fought, every night you cried, every victory you earned in silence, they all became seeds of deliverance for others. Your survival was never solitary. It was strategy. You are the continuation of something ancient and the beginning of something new. It is written in the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 14, "You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden." Those words now ring with meaning. They're not a poetic encouragement. They're a declaration of identity. You are the light. You are the city. You are the one chosen to remain visible when others fade into shadow. The same fire that refined you has become illumination for those still wandering in darkness. Chosen one. Your purpose is not only to shine, but to guide. You carry within you the map of every lesson, every mercy, every moment of divine intervention. You understand now that to be chosen means to live beyond yourself, to speak when silence can save another, to extend grace even when your wounds still ache, to stand firm so that others learn it's possible. You have been prepared for this, to walk among the broken, not as one who pities, but as one who understands. You are the evidence that redemption is real, that no pit is too deep, nor exile too far. When you speak, people won't just hear hope, they'll feel it, because your words come from lived fire. That's the eternal assignment, to become the bridge between heaven's promise and human pain. And it will not always be easy. There will be moments when the old shadows whisper again, when weariness tries to settle back in, but you'll know what to do. You'll remember the fire, the covenant, the seal. You'll remember the voice that called you out of danger, the hand that lifted you when you had nothing left. You'll remember that every time you choose light again, the plan continues through you. This assignment is not a burden, it's a lineage. Heaven entrusts its message to those who have walked through both wilderness and wonder. You carry what generations prayed for. You are someone's answered prayer, someone's long-awaited deliverer. When they look at you, they'll see proof that divine timing is real and mercy is stronger than failure. And as you walk forward, the world around you will change subtly, quietly, beautifully. You'll find people drawn to your peace without knowing why. They'll sense the kingdom in your kindness, the spirit in your stillness. You'll become the living translation of grace, a walking revelation that God still speaks, still heals, still saves. That is what it means to be part of the eternal assignment, to become both witness and weapon, healer and herald. You don't have to perform, you simply have to remain. The more you stay surrendered, the more heaven flows through you effortlessly. You are not the origin of light, you are its vessel. The source will never stop shining, and as long as you stay open, the world will keep finding its way through your glow. So now, you stand at the edge of a new beginning. The danger that once chased you has become the story that equips you. The fear that once silenced you has become the strength that speaks through you. You were never meant to stay hidden, you were meant to become a signal, a living reminder that grace always wins. The plan of God has not just saved you, it has sent you. You are His chosen continuation, His living testimony, and wherever you go from here, light goes with you. The assignment does not end, it only expands. The journey ends here, yet something eternal begins. You've walked through warning, through fire, through revelation, and you've risen marked, sealed, and sent. What started as danger became destiny. Heaven has fulfilled its promise. You have been rescued, refined, and released into purpose. This is not goodbye. Chosen one, it's a handover. The voice that guided you through these words now whispers directly into your spirit, saying, "Go, live it." Before you step forward, take a moment to let gratitude rise. Look how far you've come. How much has changed. How deeply you now understand that none of this was random. Every section, every sentence, every spark of conviction was heaven's way of pulling you closer to light. If this journey has touched you, like this message, not for attention, but as an offering of thanks for what God has done within you, share it with someone who needs the same rescue you once needed. Comment below and tell me what moment awakened you most. Your testimony might be the key for another's breakthrough. And if your spirit has found a home here, subscribe, not just to follow, but to stay connected to this flow of faith and fire. The plan of God has saved you. Now, go live like it.